Oh boy.
Bruh.
G'day everyone, this is Ben Portals. Welcome back to another video. If you follow me on Twitter, you know I love Disney TVA shows. I tweet about them all the time, and I'm even getting started on fan art. A big favourite is The Owl House. I first saw this show around December 2020, and I was really starting to enjoy it the next month. For a while, it was my favourite story cartoon. And at the moment, there is about a week until the second half of Season 2, or for simplicity, Season 2B, finally drops. But I got a mission to do first. Back in October last year, I made a video where I recapped the entirety of Amphibia's Season 2 finale, True Colors. I made that video to prepare others, mainly myself, for that show's third season, which premiered on the same day. At the time of this video, it is my proudest YouTube project because it took a lot of work compared to previous videos, and I had to go through very upsetting and disturbing content. So much so that I almost got sick. Since it's my proudest video, it only figured that I make another one, but for the Owl House's previous episode, Yesterday's Lie. That way, we can be ready for the rest of Season 2. Before I start though, if you want to see me do more of these solo episode recaps, please like this video and comment below what other episodes of cartoons you guys want me to talk about. I really want to make this a full-on series for my channel, so support is appreciated. Also, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified on videos. A very small percentage of people that actually watch my videos are subscribed, and I'm trying to hopefully reach 1,000 subscribers in the future, so I would love your support, as I want to do this channel for a very long time. And one last thing, since I'm recapping a plot-heavy episode, spoilers will be in effect. And this is the latest episode, so if you haven't seen the entirety of the show, either leave or proceed with caution. And with that out of the way, this is my informative recap of the Owl House's Yesterday's Lie. Over at Lucifer City's real home, back in the Earth realm, we have a proper introduction to the doppelganger that we saw in earlier episodes. Everything seems normal as real Lucy's mum, who I'm going to call by her real name Camilla for simplicity, is completely oblivious that her real daughter is actually in a demon-filled realm. After freeing a bunny that was caught in a trap, doppelganger Luce goes back into her room, accepting her brand new life in Luce's place when the real Luce shows up in the reflection mad as hell, which also scares the doppelganger, which I guess implies that she isn't evil, but we don't exactly know that yet. A little while before all that, the real Luce, alongside Ida, King, and Hootie, are applying the finishing touches to a brand new portal door in an effort to get Luce back home. Now that they got the Titan blood from the missing key which leaked on Amity's glove, Ida uses the bathtub thing to make the portal, and surprisingly, it worked. Well, sort of. They made a portal door, but it's really different. Luce ties herself to a rope and enters the door, where she ends up in a weird dimension with wacky looking walls and cubes floating around the place. She calls for the others and a cube shows up, and when she touches it, she ends up in the reflection of one of the windows of the Owl House. Using this knowledge, she calls out for Camilla, and through traversing gravity with the cubes, is able to make her to the Camilla cube. Why is that a weird thing to say? She finds Camilla dancing to music while making I feel like this is going to be important soon. Eventually, she finds out about her doppelganger and immediately panics. This leads us to where we left off previously, with Luce confronting her doppelganger, freaking her out in the process. Immediately, we see that she is from the Boiling Isles, with the sudden voice change and sideways eye blinking. She runs off to get away from Luce, eventually entering the abandoned house that Luce ended up going into when she entered the Boiling Isles in the first place. In a moment of rage, she ends up caught in another one of those traps, and she reveals her true form. A basilisk from the Boiling Isles named V. Through a pocket mirror, Luce helps V free herself, and it's here we learn that she took Luce's life while she was stuck in the Boiling Isles because Camilla was kind. Upon her panic, however, she used the rest of her transformation magic and can't completely change back to a normal-looking Luce. Luce tells her about Ida and says she probably left magic stuff over somewhere in Gravesfield. But upon exiting the house, however, we see a camera active in the house, which doesn't look like a good thing. V, with Luce in the pocket mirror's reflection, goes to a cafe that Ida was banned from, and the barista mentions that Ida, who went by the human name Marilyn, did something weird with the croissants and threw them away. Wait a minute. Did she just say Marilyn? That's the same name as Stanley Pines' ex-wife who stole from him. Is Ida Stanley Pines' ex-wife? If we don't get some form of an official crossover between Gravity Falls and Owl House, we riot. Sorry, back to the episode. After talking Rat scare V away, Luce later spots Hex's Hold'em cards with some high schoolers. Luce is cautious about V's optimism, but as it turns out, they were V's cabin mates at camp. The girl in the group mentions that she got the cards at the Gravesfield Historical Society, so V goes there and is greeted by the curator who goes to get her a pack of cards. However, V later breaks down as she reveals the truth to Luce. Her real name is Number 5, and her kind went extinct years ago. They were brought back as different numbered subjects, with V being number 5, to see how they drained magic. They managed to escape, but knew that Emperor Bellows would find them again. But when Number 5 saw Luce, she found her way out of the situation. She escaped from the Boiling Isles by entering the human realm, and took on the disguise of Luce when Camilla was close by. Camilla was nice to her, so she decided to go along with her life, went to camp, made friends, sent letters to Camilla, and kept on living with her as camp ended, with things finally working out for her until the real Luce showed up in her mirror. After having that story revealed, she sniffs out the Hexus cards, but also sees a board featuring Ida and discovers the security camera footage of V in Basilisk form. She tries to get out in a panic, but ends up trapped in a rigged cage, accidentally dropping and breaking the pocket mirror that Luce was guiding V through. The curator comes into the room and reveals that he was the one who set up all those traps and cameras after seeing Ida's beast form years ago. Turns out, this guy is a conspiracy theorist and just wants to make it big on the internet. He leaves the room and V smashes the only reflective thing in the room to prevent further trouble from Luce. Running out of options, Luce executes the last resort to save her. Camilla Noceda. Luce's reflection is now on the cell phone, and Camilla thinks that Luce is calling her from the phone. Luce then reveals the truth about the past few months, but when she gets to the museum, Camilla is brushing it off, thinking it's Luce's creativity, and decides to play along. She meets the curator, and he assumes that the government sent her, a vet, to study the demon, which Camilla also thinks is part of a game. He explains the story of witchcraft, with 2 brothers being lured into the demon realm by a witch. The curator still believes this, proven by Ida's beast form and the training wand seen on the desk. He reveals V to Camilla, as well as V's Luce form switching into Basilisk form. This is when Camilla realizes that Luce was indeed telling the truth about everything, and she is able to convince her to help V. After the curator sees Luce's phone reflection thinking she is recording it, Camilla ignores Luce's dialogue directions and confronts the curator in such a boss way that she quickly became one of my favorite characters. She is able to stop the curator from dissecting V with the power of the thong, leaving him in the cage as Camilla rescues V. What? I'm Australian. We call sandals thongs. Give me a break. They drive back home where Luce's reflection is now the rain projected by the car lights. Camilla tells V that she can stay for as long as she needs and even gives her Hexus cards to consume magic. But now, Camilla knows where Luce actually is, and when V is out of the way, she finally breaks down, for she was trying to fight her emotions, but was in so much fear for Luce. And given that Luce is just a reflection, she isn't there physically. Luce calms her down by saying that she's trying her hardest to get back home, which Camilla accepts, for despite Luce not actually being at camp, she had matured, which was what camp was supposed to do. But she gets upset again when Luce reveals that staying in the Boiling Isles was the best decision she had made. It wasn't something that was forced on her. She chose to stay there to learn magic. Camilla thinks that Luce hated living with her, but before she can deny it, she is about to be pulled back, as the portal she made with the others is unstable, which is why she had the rope around her. But before she is taken away, Camilla asks Luce to promise something. To stay with her and never leave her if she ever returns home. This could mean that Luce might never go back to the Boiling Isles, where she would never see Ida, King, Amity, or anybody from the Boiling Isles ever again. But Luce promises anyways, just as she disappears from the reflection, breaking Camilla down. Luce gets pulled back to the owl house just in time for the portal to close. Luce pretends that everything is fine, with Ida saying that they will be able to make a working portal in no time. But as she, King, and Hootie are talking about what to do there, Luce is secretly unsure and scared. And that was yesterday's lie. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, this video was probably harder for me to make than the True Colors recap. So much so that I'm actually rather scared to go back to the series. But nevertheless, I am proud of myself for having the courage and bravery to sit through the latest episode of a show that is heavier with its themes, and I am really looking forward to the rest of the season. My only hope is that the show won't do what Amphibia did and make me very, very, very scared for a return. Oh, who am I kidding? What is going to happen to V? Will Amity and Luce still be a couple if she leaves? Will Camila regret making Luce promise to her? Will they ever make a proper portal before Bellows? Is he the Stanley Pines' ex-wife? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. This took a lot out of me, and I am really happy that I could make this video for you guys, so please do like the video and subscribe if you are brand new. No, seriously, please subscribe. Just like the curator, I want to be verified, and to do that, I need to reach 1,000 subscribers, so please subscribe. Also, comment down below if you want to see me do more of these, because I generally want to, because it's helped me overcome my fear of going back to these kinds of episodes. Except for Olivia and Yunan from Amphibia. No way am I going back to that episode again. I'd rather watch True Colors 5 times in a row over that one episode. Also, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and share this video with other Owl House fans to get them ready for 2B. That's all for today, and as always, stay safe during these times, have a good day, and I'll see you next time.